Canton police are investigating a cop who kicked a suspect who was complying rather. There's no implication here. It's just, bam, you get kicked even though you're complying with directions. Ohio, another place I lived. 10 years I lived there. 9 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks too long. Not that I don't like Ohio, but it just wasn't for me. Canton Police Department investigating after a social media video began circulating of a Canton officer kicking a suspect who appeared to be complying. That's according to police. According to a release from Canton Police, officers were called to Mahoning Manor Apartments over a large argument involving 10 to 15 people around 8:30 p.m. My old station with the reporting. Multiple people fled the scene. Officers chased some individuals by foot. Police say one suspect was carrying a firearm, and the chase was canceled. More officers arrived at the scene. They found multiple other suspects. Officers ordered the suspects to the ground. They appeared to comply, according to the release. The release said an officer kicked 21-year-old suspect Jameer McElroy in the chest. Cleveland 19 News with the details. Amari Reese, who lives in the complex and witnessed what happened, told Cleveland 19, guns out, suited up, helmets on. I'm like, damn, you would have thought they was looking for somebody. Everybody was getting ready to go to a party, and then whew, the cops pulled up so deep, so fast, they was in the back of the building in the grass. There was just a little bit of everywhere, so everybody was just confused. I don't understand why the cop ran up and kicked him in his face. But it was uncalled for because he really wasn't doing nothing.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
All right, so we heard about a kick to the chest, a kick to the face, a kick. That's consistent. Canton Police Chief John Gabbard wrote in a statement, our officers frequently face stressful, dangerous situations and confrontations with armed suspects. Their dedication to the community has resulted in exceptional reductions in violence, especially gun violence, over the past 2 years. Crime reduction, public safety is only part of our mission, which cannot be fully realized without consideration of the effect we have on our community. In short, how we do our job is as important as the results of our efforts. Officers using force outside the parameters of our training, policy, principles will be held accountable. Well, if how police in Canton do their job is as important as the results, I don't know why the chief started the statements with the results. Crime is down. We've done it stressful. According to witnesses, they brought the stress, the popo. We'll see. Just seems a little off. Canton Mayor William Schur II wrote in a statement. Many of you have seen the video that began circulating over the weekend involving a Canton police officer kicking a suspect in custody. I've said on more than one occasion that we can do better, and I'm tired of saying it. It's about action. This behavior is not acceptable. This will be handled, will not be tolerated by any department in the city of Canton. I will make it my duty. In doing so, I also want to reiterate that I have total faith in our police chief, John Gabbard, and his ability to lead. But it's unfortunate that we have to continue to have these isolated incidents that reflect on our entire department. Mayor, sit down. Now, sit down. The first part of the statement, I was like, well, damn. You did that, baby. And then I got to the rest of it. It's isolated. Is that what the people of Canton would say? Is that what the blacks would say in Canton? Come on, Mayor the second. McElroy's attorney, Bobby DiCello, in a statement wrote, the family of Jameer McElroy are sickened by the senseless and cruel acts of violence that Jameer endured on Saturday. It should not be lost on anyone that after officers attacked him and hospitalized him, they issued charges which find no support in the video. Isolated incident. One of those charges, resisting arrest, is not justified by the video. Jameer is on his knees with his hands in the air when he's kicked in the head by an officer who charges at him. The family is resolved to get justice for Jameer. It is time for the city of Canton to wake up and realize that its police department is attacking its own citizens and treating them as enemy combatants rather than citizens. We remain committed to holding these officers accountable. So we have these opposing observations here, Woes. The young man's family and his attorney are alluding to, and in fact, pretty candid in their belief that this is a pattern. This is systemic with the Canton Police Department. We've covered incidents. Um, Several cases come to mind. Could have been a lot worse. Yet you have a mayor coming out swinging at first, and then in the same statement saying he has full faith in the police chief. And what are you talking about? And what's going to happen to this officer who we all saw do something that is not appropriate and indeed seems to be unlawful? What do you say?
I just hate the back to blue mentality that basically 99.9% of all municipalities in our country take at every single turn. Now, if I'm being charitable, right? If something like this happens, it's the cop versus cop. The mayor comes out and he backs his freaking police department. I don't really think you can credibly say that he should do differently. That's just not reality. That's not how power works. They're gonna back their freaking police officers in the beginning, but once there's video evidence of something that's obviously an excessive use of police force, to then come out and defend that so vociferously, you're going to lose credibility with the community. There's just no two ways about it. Like, I understand how power works. I'm not an idiot. I'm not naive to it. Yes, when allegations get thrown out, he say, she say, whatever, victim versus police, the freaking mayor's office is going to back the blue automatically. But come on, man. Once it's been proven with documentation, documented sources, video evidence that this guy perpetrated a crime against one of your citizens, to come out with the pathetic statement like this, like it's just like you wonder if these people even care about credibility sometimes.
Well, I would push back a little and say I don't even know why we'd be surprised because it's done all over the country and local police departments all over coast to coast, north, south, east, west. George Floyd murdered on camera, courageous young lady taking footage that had to be incredibly traumatic. The MMA fighter right there saying, I wanted to call the police because I saw the police committing a murder. The off duty paramedic, they told her they would pepper spray her if she got involved. And do you know how police described the murder of George Floyd initially? A man had a medical emergency. They lied. So I'm not surprised at all, but they've been doing that for a long time, Woes, telling us that our eyes didn't see what we just saw and saying, well, you don't know the whole history of it. Oh, well, they're under stress. Oh, well, No, we don't know, but we're traumatized. And I appreciate the statements of the family's attorney, treating their own citizens like enemy combatants. It's sick. So I don't understand any of it, but I take the point. I concede that this is just the way they do business. You're right.